Hello and welcome to Dying of Exposure, Through the Mill, a live play, actual play D&D series. This is a Western fantasy desert plains homebrew 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons series. I am your game mommy.
Wow,
My name is Steve. Yeah, it's a lot of adjectives. And I am going to introduce my wonderful posse. We're going to actually start in a different order this time. Let's start with the Dragonborn.
All right, my name is Daniel. I am playing Kravar, the lizard man dragonborn.
Lizard man Dragonborn Paladin.
Paladin.
And then right down from Daniel, we move on to the Tabaxi.
I am Selene. I am playing Star, who is a Tabaxi rogue archer.
Then from Selene, we're going to move down to the Coyote Man.
Hi, I'm Josh, also known as Cloffapop, a Coyote Man druid. A real tall one.
We're going to...
Long boy.
Very long boy. Very long boy. From there, we're going to go to the half-orc and most humanoid of the party.
Trapper, by the way, sorry.
I'm Brandon, and I'm playing Barosh, a.k.a. Barry, the half-orc barbarian.
And then up from Barry, we've got our resident intellectual tiefling.
That's me. I'm Camille. I play Patience Pratt, who is a wild magic sorcerer.
And last, and certainly not least, in my heart at least, is our bugbear.
Hi, I'm Greg. I play Skitaki Skato, the Bugbear Ranger.
And so we have our posse. Now I'm going to do a quick synopsis of what happened on the last episode, and then we're going to jump right into it because we are going to start with initiative and get right into the battle here. In the last episode, after realizing that Fredrickson Goodhammer, or Hammergood, depending on which episode you were listening to me say it. Yeah, no, it's built into the lore now. He's got
It's
both
that
names.
Shyamalan twist.
Yeah.
Is he Goodhammer?
I actually have it written down. There's a background to it.
It was the same person the whole time.
What
At our 170 episode reveal.
What a clever and wonderful alias, just switching your last name around a little bit. No one will suspect.
So smart.
First name Fredrickson. The dwarf named Fredrickson is a first name. But so once all gathered in the tavern and tavern / bordello / restaurant / inn, the posse realized that Fredrickson was playing some high-level manipulation games, trying to get them to work against the Caspi farm while appearing to work for the Caspi farm, as well as continuing to threaten Patience's family, but threatening with a bit of a golden olive branch if they too pushed the Caspis out or tried to. Once that information was shared, it was discussed exactly how to proceed. There was a bit of strategy planning. Patience was thinking of a double agent thing. Barry was just gonna go kill Goodhammer or beat the crap out of him at the very least. But fortunately, cooler minds prevailed, and they managed to come to the conclusion after a long and full dinner and many beverages in order to gain a long rest and all of their hit points back, that that they should just go to the Caspis, the people they know he's also messing with. So after another dinner, because the Caspis are very friendly, and some discussion and a little map investigation by Star, they begin to realize that it seems Fredrickson is trying to buy up a circle of land, not exactly on the outskirts of Water's Wealth, but definitely on the outer edges, with a dot in the center at the stables where the mules were unloaded for a little bit of coin. They then investigate the back cornfield, all except Krav, who continued to just mow down on a bunch of raw meat. And
He needs an extra long rest.
And in searching, extra long rest, in searching for some information, found a small pouch with some herbs via Skitaki buried into the ground, but more importantly, or more specifically followed up on, was Patience discovering that the ground itself, the dirt itself, even though no one else could see it, had a bit of a glittery glow to it. Upon a little bit more of a discussion and possibly trashing about 30% of the Caspy's goods out in the front lawn or in the living room, it didn't matter. They were going to destroy it, but they decided to hold off. They moved out to the stables, checked there, found some more glittery dirt, and then split up. Skitaki and Patience heading back to the university, and Krav, Star, and Barry heading down to the southernmost point on the map to discover if there was a consistency in the dirt. They already had 2 examples of it being consistent, but 3, 4, or 5 is better than 2. So one might ask at this point, where's Trapper? Well, Trapper lit out right at the beginning of this adventure after eyeballing some marshals that were eyeballing him after coughing up a tree into a bauble and curio shop. And so we have on the YouTube what happened to Trapper during that time. Nonetheless, there were a couple small skirmishes down Krav, Star, and Barry down at the Southern Elementary School house turned barn. Found some thugs looking to burn it. I believe it was Dale, other Dale, and James. And after Dale, or original Dale Prime, stabbed himself on the to death on the loaded bolt of Star's crossbow, I want to say. Other Dale and James just cooperated and were turned into the local station house. Meanwhile, Skitaki and Patience happened upon someone that was not doing a good job at hiding to ambush them, and quickly handled him and made him, of course, wet himself, as someone always does in every episode of Through the Mill.
That's the Through the Mill promise.
And sent him back to Frederickson.
No.
Sent him back to Frederickson. Well, if you think about it, Krob's always kind of peeing through his skin a little bit. Anyway, that's
not how lizard folk work.
That's how Dragonborn.
That's not how Dragonborn
He's
work.
a Gila monster Dragonborn. He's very unique.
He has a cloaca.
He's very wet. Nonetheless, Patience and Skitaki send that thug back to Frederickson with his tail between his legs, but not fully giving up the ghost on the idea of potentially Patience working with him if the deal is right. They get back to the library, do some studying. The rest join the library, minus Trapper, are distracted momentarily, or at least Star is, by a very ripped, cut, bulky gnome by the name of David shirtlessly restocking returned books onto a book cart to be placed back up later. There was a little flirtation there, and then some further study. We found out that the glitter dirt, as it were, only happens when either celestial or fiendish magic is cast on the double full moon that happens once every year. And it just so happens that in about 5 days, that double full moon is going to happen again. So it seems like there may be a connection there, but not much more could be talked about it, because just as they were getting into it, a bunch of potential aggressors, probably aggressors, they did explode the door into the library, appeared, and that's where we
if nothing else, ingressors.
And that's where we pause, so that's where we'll pick up. Quite a bit of recap on this one, because the episode itself didn't have great sound on it, but
It was the exposition heavy episode.
it was
setting up the pieces.
There was a lot of pieces, and now we're gonna get into the action, Marvel movie style. I need all of you to roll to jump down into 3-point need a fist landing. Do it.
Nat 20.
Initiative.
You didn't actually. If I had rolled before you said that and perhaps rolled a 1, would that still count?
Oh, for initiative? Or
Yes.
or for the 3-point drop down count?
For the 3-point drop down.
3-point drop down count, it absolutely would count. It absolutely would. I am that kind of a
Patience breaks
GM
her
for
leg.
no apparent reason. Yeah.
If it,
No.
I don't know if I can also show it to Patience, but I'm joining you at the. I failed. I'm joining you at the very bottom of the potential ladder.
I got 19 on initiative.
That makes sense, Greg.
Okay.
I
So Barry got 19. Who? What did?
I got 9. 7 plus 2.
9.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even add mine. Sorry, I got 22.
I also got 22.
You're lying. You're lying, liars who lie.
I'm not lying. I
No,
rolled an
I've
at
got-
20.
I
I'm
got a
at
19
5.
right here.
5.
I've got 2 if you add my initiative modifier.
I will add your initiative modifier. Excellent.
Please do.
Excellent.
Should I have rolled initiative yet? Actually.
Yes. Roll initiative.
Okay. Well, I did.
It'll be fine.
I
It'll
just
be
did-
fine. You'll go. They'll all figure that out. So we
I
are.
rolled low. I figured that was appropriate since I'm like standing outside.
So we are going to start out. So I'm going to describe this library for you because roll 20 is balls, and I couldn't get a map together in time, even though I had
Yeah.
literally all afternoon to do it. So that's a
Roll 20
quick,
is balls.
that's a quick anti-sponsor for Through the Mill. Fuck you, roll 20. Anyway.
If you'd like some better coverage, maybe sponsor us.
Maybe sponsor us. I can. My opinions are for sale.
Why would they sponsor someone who's already singing their praises?
Right? Exactly. It's got to be hush
Exactly.
money. So this library is essentially a large rectangle with a large circle on the end of it. The circle is where the party was for the moment, and the other end of the rectangle is where the doorway is, and where, of course, David the gnome was blasted down and away from his desk. And we don't know.
Gnome?
No, not the David the gnome. This isn't.
Okay.
This isn't that.
Just a David the gnome.
He might be the David the gnome. We're just gonna
He's
let the
my
fanfic.
David.
He is Star's David the gnome. So effectively,
Let Tumblr sort it out.
the distance between the kind of back circle and the front entry, which is the front entry, is a straight shot. 60 feet or so from where you all are. There are various library stacks, library shelves. There's basically 2 large rows on either side of a main walkway that cut off at small little study tables. But you all gathered in the back where there's a few circle tables, and all of the bookshelves are in like along the walls in a kind of 3/4 circle before the entrance to the circle area. There's nothing blocking someone if they just decided to run straight for the door, but you can use the shelves to their advantage. There are 6 rows of shelves on either side of the main walkway. So for those that like to hide or attack from hiding, or just want to push bookshelves down on people, that's all for game. Feel free to damage the library as much as you want. I'm sure Patience will love that.
Yeah, Camille reacting in character there.
How tall are the nearest bookshelves?
So normally I'd say they're taller than average height, but in the case of when Trapper potentially shows up, they're about Trapper's height. They are 8 feet tall. They are 8 feet tall, so most of you would be able to reach up and touch the top of them. None of you would be able to look through them without like stepping up onto one's lower shelves or books, or going through your tippy toes. They're a little too tall for even Trapper to see over.
Right.
But you,
I can climb up one pretty quick.
You could easily climb up one. We're gonna start. I'm gonna do this the proper D&D 5e recommended way. We have a tie with Krav and Star, and let's see, dexterity +3.
The Star has the better dex, I'm sure.
Star does. So Star, you actually go first. So you see this burst happen. What you see in front of you is. How many? Oh yeah. You see 4 like lightly suited up guards, or guard builds. They're just regular street toughs. 2 hounds. 2 hounds that look mangy and not quite natural, and 2 nicely dressed. 2 nicer dressed people all the way behind them, but they're all bunched together right at the doorway.
I thought you
Are
meant
they
the
all
hounds.
humans?
These are not anthro hounds.
No, they're hounds.
Okay.
So there's essentially 6 humans, 4 already with weapons out, and and 2
What weapons
hounds.
are they? What weapons do they have drawn?
Just standard short swords, and hand crossbows, single hand crossbows.
Okay.
But they are both holding. None of them have shields, and so they are both holding, or they are all holding them. The 2 nicer dressed people don't currently have anything super visible in their hands.
Right.
So they're about 50, 60 feet away from Star. You're first to go. What do you want to do?
I'm guessing that we're all in each other's direct vision.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's no chance of like obfuscation and such.
Are you talking about Star going and hiding from them?
I guess essentially.
If you were to, because you're only 6'9", if you were to duck, because you have so much movement, don't you?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
If you were to
like
duck,
feline agility, I have 60 feet of movement without even using any action.
A lot of bookshelves standing around.
yeah, exactly. If you were to duck behind a bookshelf at the beginning of your movement and juke
That's what I was
right,
thinking.
and then move to one of the random bookshelves, I wouldn't let you engage close enough for melee, but you could absolutely engage close enough for your crossbows. And you could pop out. You'd still have to roll a deception roll, but it would be a fairly reasonable DC against it.
Probably take some crossbow shots through bookshelves, right?
I'd have to have you, like, yes, but only through, like, one row of bookshelves. I wouldn't let it go through multiple, unless somebody rolled, like, super high or happened to roll a nat 20 on their attack, and we just do it for flavor.
Let's go William Tell on it.
All right, what was I doing? Deception.
Deception, or not deception, sorry, stealth. Not deception.
Stealth. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, stealth makes volumes more sense.
Yeah. All right. Shit, I got a 16.
All right, 16 beats the DC 15 check, so you get to do your first attack as a surprise attack.
All right, perfect. And that means I'm advantage. Oh, who am I shooting at? I guess. How many of them did you say had crossbows?
4 of them.
Oh, okay. So the four soldiers basically.
Yeah, 4
have
soldiers.
a
Basically,
hand
the 4
crossbow
thugs.
and or thugs. That's what it was. Sorry. All right. So
And just to be clear, all 4 thugs are either supernatural skin colored or Caucasian. I just want that to be clear. It's not weird coded language.
Okay.
This isn't the alt-right Western fantasy podcast.
All right. And so yeah, I'm gonna attack whichever one of those 4 I guess is
right.
closest to the front.
All right.
And shit, that's not great. What is it again? Is it 5?
Should be to hit. Should be
Yeah.
Dex plus your proficiency.
So yeah. So it's I got a 14.
A 14 does hit.
Perfect.
So a 14 absolutely hits. Roll damage.
So that's 9.
Woo! You lay in immediately on somebody, and you get them real good in the gut. Now, what people don't understand in a modern world about a gut shot because of movies is that if you get shot in the gut, and especially with something that stays in the gut, or like stabbed in the gut,
Right.
it's like the worst. It is so awful. So that person takes 9 damage. They're not down, but they are definitely hurt. So they are struggling and everything. I will allow you, if you want to, because you're in the stacks, to take a bonus action to roll to hide, if you would like. So that's your stealth roll again.
So that would be 23.
All right, that beats the highest standard perception that I'm going to be able to probably roll unless I get a nat 20. So let's see how lucky the GM is today. See how lucky Game Mommy is today. That is a solid 11, which means, yeah, so you do successfully hide. If one of them goes looking for you, I'll do more active. I just kind of rolled for the group in general. After that would be Krav.
All right, I am going. So, are some of these thugs grouped up in a line?
Vertically or horizontally?
Vertically.
So as you're looking for them, no.
Like on each other's shoulders?
Yeah.
Like standing one behind each other.
Yeah. You could actually, you wouldn't be able to get the thugs as a group. They're all kind of the front line, but you would absolutely be able to get one of their hounds, one of the thugs, and one of the people standing behind them. So you could.
I'm
they are
going
60
for it.
feet away, aren't they?
So I'm gonna charge forward 30 feet and unleash my my breath weapon, my acid breath.
I knew you'd do it.
Does it have 30 feet of range?
Let me
yes.
take a glance at it.
Wow.
Now would definitely be the time to do it.
Yep.
Out of the library. Out of the library.
Totally. Hold on.
Right.
That's a 5 foot by 30 foot line.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna roll something just to see. Okay, no.
So the 30 feet is the link.
Yeah,
line.
no, that's fine. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Your weapon can do that, or your breath weapon can do that. All right, so what do they roll on your breath weapon? I feel like they roll.
They roll a dex save versus 12. If they make it, they take half damage. If they fail,
okay,
they take
one wolf. Okay, he makes it. That does not make it, and that one makes it. Okay. Roll your damage.
My damage is I rolled 6.
Okay, so so 2 of them made it, 1 of them did not. I'm actually really happy that the one of them that did make it, because even though the eyes are a little jacked up and they look a little mangy, they're still dogs, and so it's a little sad. Like, they're mean dogs, but they're still dogs.
Right.
So I'm going to say that you catch this one, and he takes 3 damage, and then this guy takes 6 damage. That's it. And so you catch that person. Were you actually? I should ask. Were you attempting to focus fire, like hit the one that Star hit?
Sure, yeah. If that's if that's the one Star hit. I was mostly going for AOE, but
yeah, I'm gonna be kind on this, because this once they go, this is gonna get real hard. So you fully kill one of them. One of them just goes down, but fortunately, that was not one of the ones that that saved. And then the other 2 that saved, we'll go. 3, and we're good. So that would be Barry as the next person to go in the order.
So Barry stands up and is like, finally a fight. Enough books, enough studying. Let's do this. And he's gonna move up 30 feet.
Yep.
And to be out in the middle of the opening as much as possible. And
Barry's a wide boy. He takes up a lot of space.
So he's gonna go out there and he's just like, come and get me. But he's gonna take a defensive stance for his action.
So
that means anyone who
that's a
attacks
challenge.
takes disadvantage on their attack rolls.
I like it a lot.
Nice.
Roll. I'm gonna have you roll an intimidation check on that. This isn't going to affect them wanting to attack you. I'm using this in replacement to how effective you potentially goading them is.
18.
Okay, that's pretty good. DC. You were inevitably gonna get some of them attacking you, especially because you were in closing distance with their stronger weapons. But now you're definitely you've peeved their pet. All right, so as the thugs, as the hired mercenaries, probably manage to move in. This is their round. So they move in. Bringing the 2 hounds with them, and Barry is the only one that they can get to. So they move in and just group on Barry. And so there are 3 of them still up. They're all hitting you with their short swords, but they are all hitting you with disadvantage. So I feel like this is going to be a lot of misses for me and not a very powerful moment of danger. Let's find out. Barry, what's your AC?
19.
Okay. What's that? Nope. Nope. And we got one. We got one managed to hit Barry. So
Wow.
He hits Barry. Yeah. Well, it was 6 rolls. It was almost bound to happen. He hits Barry. Barry, he does a total of 2 damage to you. I rolled a 1.
Damn.
And he gets a +1.
This is bullshit. I can't believe you, man.
Yeah, I know. Battle's supposed to come off as immediately more threatening, but it is not yet. All right. And so that was the guard's turn. The next person is one of the nicer dressed gentlemen in the back, one that wasn't damaged by the breath weapon. Decides to step into the fray here. And you know what? He's gonna first attempt to find Star. Probably it does not find Star. And then he is going to look back toward it, and I'm going to have him roll. Rolls a 1, and that means so Skitaki. The luck of the die always on your side, Greg. He just whips a little orb of fire in your direction. You want to I gotta see if he can hit with it. Lost that D20. Roll a different one.
Into the depths.
Skitaki, you don't happen to have just a real bad AC, do you? Like just the worst AC on the planet?
Is he wearing his armor off?
I do not. I can take my armor off. That's helpful.
Yeah, I mean that would really help me out as the GM. So he whips a fireball at you, and you just dodge it and move aside. And he swings super wide, so Patience doesn't have to worry. It just fizzles on the back, where there's conveniently a window of cool glass of cooler than the room temp glass that cools it down, so that the books are not injured by that. So that's his turn. Now, Trapper, who is not in the room, but in fact in another section behind them, it is your turn.
I'm in the quad, dude.
You're actually in the hallway behind them, Trapper. You're about 60 feet out from them down the hallway. And so they have not clocked
I'm gonna tell you what, I like that range.
They have not clocked you at all because they're busy being focused, especially with Barry's move. Nobody knows that you're back there.
Yeah, well, while they're busy not clocking me, I'm busy casting fairy fire on them. So, any creature within a 20-foot cube of my fairy fire range or effect gets a I'm gonna say a violet light if they fail a dexterity saving throw for the duration, and they cast off that dim light in a 10-foot radius, doesn't matter if they're invisible, and any attack against any affected creature has advantage if the attacker can see it.
Oh, look at you. And so they have to roll what save?
Dex 14.
Okay, so the way that I'm going to play this, just because I like this for flavor, we're going to say everyone except for the 2 nicely. Yeah, so you'll get 5 of them, because the hounds are all on Barry, so they're all forward. The 2 nicely dressed people did not have to close to engage, so they're in the doorway, so they're actually about 30 feet apart. So I assume you'd want to cast it on the melee characters. Or the bigger group, correct?
Yeah.
That's weird to see Dandy take a photo of us.
I like when he adjusts his pop filter and all of a sudden a giant frying pan appears in the sky behind him for just a split second.
All right.
That is? I thought...
It's my microphone.
Oh, okay.
Only
I
one.
thought it was the pop filter.
Only one of them saved on that. So everyone but one hound glows up in violet, and you get advantage on attacking them, which is going to be real good next round.
Hell yeah, good play.
Did you close
and then-
30 on that one? Have you moved yet?
I am gonna close 30.
I am gonna roll because you just cast a benign spell that wasn't a attack. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna have you roll a stealth. We're gonna say that there's a way for you kind of.
But I thought maybe you wouldn't make me roll.
Well, it's not so much the melee characters. They're kind of already engaging with Barry. It's the two casters would be like, hey, I know what magic looks like.
I rolled an 18.
It smells like magic.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I got
that beats their
pluses.
That beats their passive perception.
Yeah,
but,
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That beats their passive perception. But I'm gonna roll an active perception to see if either of them find you, and neither of them do. Excellent.
Hell yeah.
I'm rolling real strong this battle. I'm feeling very good. I've done 2 damage total.
You're gonna fuck up the library. Like that's the trade-off.
That makes up for my 4 nat 1s yesterday.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
That was terrible.
It was
one of which was a healing roll, one of which was an attack roll. Two of which were attacks.
Right? Yes. Okay. Now in the order, it is Skitaki.
Okay. So I'm still. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around the fact that his magical effect was a cube, like with sharp edges. That just kills me.
Oh, that's just the range of what creatures are affected by it.
No, I'm agreeing with Greg. The way that it looked like it starts as a cube at first and then glows down on them like a gelatinous
an Al
cube.
Di Meola music video.
It's not the first cube in D&D. Gelatinous cubes have existed for a long time, so there you go.
I like it. I'm way into it. Yeah.
This is just a good cube.
So,
Everyone needs to YouTube Sequencer by Al Di Meola because it's exactly like that in the library. It's amazing.
All right, Skitaki.
all right. Do I get advantage on any of those guys if I attack, or is it just him?
No, it's anyone. I believe that the terminology.
Anyone with a glowing purple cube around them.
Yep. So you can just wreck the shit out of 3 guys and a dog.
So I charge forward, draw my short sword as I run, and attacking 2 separate people. The purples will be together, and the blues and greens will be together.
Your move is 30, right, Skitaki?
It is.
So you could either close on them with a melee weapon, or pull your gun on them. But you couldn't close on them with your melee. Sorry, you can't close on them with your melee weapon and attack, unless you can take dash as a bonus action, which I don't think you can. Yet as a ranger.
All right.
Yeah.
You hear that, Watsy? I'm calling you out. 5e sucks. All right. Then I guess I will just shoot them with advantage.
Yeah.
Or shoot one of them with advantage. Whoever looks well and needs a bullet.
I need some flavor text on what kind of gun a Western bugbear is carrying.
He is carrying a rolling block rifle, so it's like, kind of imagine something that looks a little bit like a lever action cowboy gun, but instead, when you roll the lever forward, instead of it cycling a round from a magazine, it's a big heavy bullet that gets loaded from the rear one at a time.
Hey, Greg, are you into guns at all?
I've never seen one. I don't.
When you said rolling stock, I thought like revolver rifle at first.
Nope.
Which is kind of dope.
Block. Like there's there's literally a little block that rolls down where you put the.
Thank you for joining Through the Mill, a discussion of fantasy guns with our expert Greg Spiritus. Okay, roll to hit.
24.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna go ahead.
That definitely. No, you surprisingly this one guard, the one guy you aimed at randomly, happens to have a 25 AC. Too bad. At a level 1 fight. This is a challenge rating. I will kill you.
This is advanced, Mark.
6 damage. Okay, that guard takes it, and he does not like it. You shoot him right in the butt. Meaty portion, but it definitely makes his right leg buckle. And he is hurting. And then we are on to this one. All right, what's he gonna do? He is going to
This one.
What am I gonna?
He just made contact with patience and lights a book on fire.
Patience gaining the strength of 100 men yeets him out of the library.
All right, so what's going to happen with this gentleman, the other nicely dressed gentleman who did not throw a ball of fire, is he quietly just reaches out to one of the uninjured. You know what? No, that's not what he's going to do. He's not going to do that at all. He's going to be a total dick, because these are mercenaries. And I'm just trying to decide what would be his. So he took a little bit of damage from the acid breath weapon. So he just quietly, pulls up a small object into his hand, kisses it, and holds it against his heart. And he just heals himself, because he doesn't want to die. And he heals himself back to full. So he's looking fresh. No more acid burns on his person, and his clothes are looking good again. So he does nothing. And then we get to the hounds, and the hounds start attacking. They're on Barry. They don't know any better than to attack the first thing in front of them. Barry, your AC is 19?
Yep, and the attacks still have disadvantage until my next turn.
Oh, let's see if I crit fail on one. Yeah, nobody succeeds. The hounds both fail. You're keeping them at bay. And
so how many people have attacked me this turn?
5? 5 people have attacked you. One of them has hit you for 2 damage. It's been a very successful term for Team Game Mommy. Patience as the bottom of the order.
I'm glad you're not on our team, Steve.
Right?
All right, so Patience is going to run up on Skataki because she also has a 30 speed, and she's going to cast Blade Ward on herself, which means that until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks.
Ooh, that means half damage, right? I want to say resistance.
Yeah, resistance means half damage.
Yes, I will look that up before it becomes a point.
Sorry, what did you just cast?
Blade Ward.
On who?
Myself.
Cool.
Yeah, because you don't have anything you can attack them with right now.
Not without getting up, and I can only
you
touch
gotta get
them.
to them.
Do you want me to roll?
No, you don't have to roll for that. That's just the spell that you cast.
No, for wild magic.
Wild magic. Yes, I do want you to roll. Thank you for reminding me.
I got a 15.
Okay, you're fine. That brings the wild magic counter up to 2, so a 1 or a 2 on your next spell will trigger a wild magic action.
That's how it works.
Yeah, wild magic stacks. So it's 1. So you are at a 2. I've got the table in front of me. And so every time you don't, if that's not how it works, that's how I'm taking it, because I've watched multiple D&D games that do that.
That's way cooler to do it, other than it's just when you roll a 1, because then it's when is it gonna happen?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, it's then it's a 1 in 20. It slowly becomes more common, and then it resets after a long rest.
Okay.
Nonetheless, now we get to something that's a little bit different for this, which is we're going to get to the lair action.
The hounds?
No, the hounds already went and failed to attack Barry. We're at a lair action. Now, for those that don't know what a lair action is an event that happens in the space that I use as a GM to make the battle a little bit more fun. At this time, since you're all level 1, I'm not going to do anything that causes you damage or requires you to roll saves. So what's going to happen is, this is a fight in a library, and a fight means some books are going to get damaged. As you all already know from Patience, this university is not flush with cash. And as Skataki and Patience know from personal experience, and Star and Trapper, Barry, and Krav might have discovered if they were interested in it, there's not a lot of like bookstores, or there's no other apparently public library, so this is where pretty much the wealth of knowledge lives in Water's Wealth. They do have a periodical that comes out weekly that they print, and some people have individual books. There are book sellers, but nothing of flush. So this library is very valuable. So what's going to happen is I am going to roll a d20. If I roll a 1, nothing happens. If I roll a 2 to a 10, a 2 to a 10, it means only a few books might get damaged. If I roll an 11 to a 15, it means that like maybe a dozen books would get damaged. And if I roll somewhere in the neighborhood of a 16 to a 20, it means that like a full bookcase is going to receive damage, and half of those books may get ruined. It's very easy to prevent this. I don't need it to be role played out. Every round, at the top of the round, you all will discuss somebody needs to lose a regular action or a bonus action, or 2 people need to lose a move action to just prevent this from happening. And so I will announce my roll, and then you can discuss. And then you can just sell your actions to basically prevent this. And then we can kind of just verbalize it. So
would I be required to use a movement action in order to attack next turn?
No, if you peek out of the same spot that you were hiding, but then your stealth roll continues to get higher, or harder DC each time.
Sure.
So I rolled a 6, which means that we're looking at like a few books that would get damaged. So this would only take one action, either an attack action, or like a bonus / free action, or a movement action from somebody in the room, or 2 movement.
I'll happily drop my move action.
Yeah, so Barry's not gonna move. Does anyone else want to drop their move action, and then that just makes sure no books get damaged?
Yeah, I'll drop mine.
Okay, so Barry and Skataki do not move. That prevents any books being damaged. What we'll say happens is that in the scrum in the middle, Barry happens to notice that somebody begins to tip over one of the bookshelves, and in all that chaos just reaches out and rights it before it begins to tip over, so it stays still. And then kind of like leans the action away from it a little bit within the 5-foot square. This is not like.
And he looks at them and is like, "Don't you have any manners? This isn't your house."
And then,
were you raised in a barn without books?
Skataki notices that little fireball that misfired, some embers went onto or dangerously near a book, and just simply is able to put it out with your hand. It just fell on one of the rims of the shelves. And so no books damaged. We're back to the top of the order, and that means we are on Star again.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pop out and shoot at which one of them is there's a one of the melee fighters has damage already, right?
Yeah, one of them has damage. You already get it because you're shooting from hide, but they all take advantage to being hit. But yeah, one of them is damaged. He's looking pretty hurt. He's not like
6
on death's
down,
door.
right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pop out and hit that one.
Okay.
That's it's a dirty 20.
That definitely hits. Roll your damage.
That is 9.
Don't forget to add your sneak attack because you're attacking with advantage.
Yep, that was with the sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And 9 definitely sends that man down. He goes down, bolt through the old neck maneuver, and just goes. And then roll your stealth to, I assume, or well, I'm not trying to judge you. Are you hiding again?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna keep popping in and out for now, at least. I got 22.
22. All right. I am going to, because they're beginning to see the attacks for the 2 casters. I'm going to roll to see if they can beat it with an active perception roll. Neither of them do. Excellent. One of them got a dirty 20, but that's not a 22. So that one is down. Now it's Krov's turn.
I'm just gonna swing my hammer at the nearest one.
Okay. Nearest guard or dog? Sorry, hound.
Guard.
If you say dog, it's much more harmful.
It's very sad when you say
Yeah. No, one of the guards, one of the guys.
Okay.
Ready to boys?
Roll with advantage.
And I rolled a 16 plus my attack,
It
which
hits.
is
It
6,
hits.
so 22.
Yeah, it hits.
All right. Excellent. And then I roll for damage. Is 5.
All right, so you nail this guy with the hammer. He was busy focusing on Barry, turns around, screams because he really looks at you for the first time. Also, his back is hurt. So he struggles. After Krov is Barry.
Okay, I'm gonna attack. So what's within melee range of me right now since I'm not moving?
The one that Krov hit, a one that has not been hit yet or hurt yet, and 2 hounds. One of which is not glowing. One.
Okay.
The other.
So I'll
3
go
are
ahead and
glowing.
hit the one. I'll go ahead and hit the one that Krov just hit.
All right.
And he's glowing, right? With it, so advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage.
25.
Yeah, that pretty significantly hits him.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do one thing. I'm gonna rage first
Okay, that's fine.
as a bonus action, and then I'm gonna do that. So.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I was wondering internally. I'm like, why isn't the barbarian raging? So
Sometimes you're just not in the mood.
Well, I rolled a 1, but that still means I get 7 damage.
that is just enough to put him down. He goes all the way down on that one. Krov and
Nice
Barry
work.
double teaming this person, just wrecking.
Barry and Krov are a tag team.
Yeah.
That is two heavy hitters. There's nothing like a Templar and a barbarian just working over things.
Just working together.
Yeah.
So after that we have do we only have one? God damn it. We have one remaining guard left. Super brave guy. One remaining thug.
Just leave, buddy.
Just leave. He rolls. Now, Barry, your disadvantage thing ended on the end of your turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I no longer take disadvantage. No, they don't. They can attack me normal.
Yeah, they can attack you normal. Even though Krov hit him, you've been the one they've been engaging on, so they're gonna keep going at you.
Cool.
And
They
that's
don't want a piece of this lizard man?
That's a no. Oh, Lizard Man's gonna get his in a bit. That's a natural too. So apparently they don't want a piece of anything.
I take that back.
I just give him a look, and he doesn't even swing his weapon. He's just
like,
too scared.
You shake your head at him.
And now we have my boy here, the one that's supposed to make this like tough. I am going to need.
Is this guy glowing purple, or are they all dead?
The one person that is still up, one guard that is still up is purple, and one of the hounds is purple.
Cool.
So there's still 2 hounds and 1 guard there, but the hounds go on a different initiative. So the person that winged the fireball, the little tiny fire baseball, basically, just kind of rubs his head, shakes it, and steps forward, and he casts he casts a very familiar spell from to y'all from the last one. He steps within 15 feet so that he's near enough to Krav and Barry, and he casts what's this called? Burning Hands. So he's gonna hit Krav and Barry because it's a 15-foot cone. I need both of you to roll dex saves.
9. That's gonna hurt.
15.
But it also would hit anyone next to us too, including his own guys if they're in the blast.
Yes, he is 100% fine with that.
He doesn't give a shit.
What is the dex save on this?
Rude and bad.
Well, I'm definitely gonna get hit.
Yeah. Barry's definitely gonna get hit. DC plus 4. Okay, so both of you get hit with the full brunt of this. This is gonna be tough. This is why good GMs realized that they might have put multiple casters into this combat at first, and then was like, oh no, what happens if they both hit though? And nobody saves. It's not good. And so he casts this bad boy. What do I roll? Ooh.
Burning Hands is brutal.
Well, so is killing like half their men. No, almost all of their men. And hounds.
I've only killed one.
Not just, but as us as a group.
Yeah. Barry, what's your hit points?
14 remaining.
And then Krov's hit points are
12.
Oh no, Barry. Oh yeah, Barry was at 14 remaining, and Krov's at 12. You see in one fell swoop with a 6, a 5, and a 4, and no saves to save them. He does 15 damage to both of you, and both Barry and Krov, as well as the hounds and his person, go down. So he killed all of his allies.
Go down.
Oh yeah, you don't go down. You don't go down, do you,
Nope.
Barry?
I'm going to stay up.
Oh, because he's raging?
No, because I have relentless endurance as a half-orc.
Yep,
Yeah,
half-orc. And so he has essentially party killed his own party because they did not save. But
Are there 2 casters or 1?
there are 2. So now
Okay,
this is a very different battle. There are 2 casters, and Krov is down, Barry is up, but with 1 hit point, so he's looking real hurt. Real hurt. And
You can't kill me. I'm gonna get you.
but it is Trapper's turn. Trapper, you were 30 feet behind the entrance door at the end of the last round. They have not clocked you. The caster that's doing the physical attack, that just did that, is a little bit far off. But the one that just healed himself privately, he is still at the doorway, so he's within 30 feet of you.
Question: Did my short rest come after?
Yeah, you're fine. You're full on everything.
Okay, cool. How's everyone doing health-wise?
Well, Krav is down.
Well, I'm down. I'm at 0.
And I am at 1.
And Barry's at 1.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can see us from the hallway.
Yeah, you'd have to close in to get to the doorway. Kind of expose yourself, but...
How far are they from the doorway?
I'm a movement action from the doorway.
Yeah.
So I can get there and cast.
Barry.
30 feet.
Okay.
I did this in a very simple way because I couldn't do a map where it was like, it was going to be a bit more complicated, but I was like, I can't do a map, so I'm going to start it off where you'd have to like really move to engage or use ranged weapons, and then everybody could just on the next turn do what they need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Who is most advantageous to heal right now?
It's kind of a weird choice, and I'm gonna let you make it. Krov's down. Krov's down. So he's passed out. He's on the floor unconscious, and he's gonna have to roll death save.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna get him
Barry
up
only
now so
has
that he can.
one. And so if he gets hit again, he just goes down at the same time. So it kind of depends on how much you think you're gonna heal for. But it's about the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
And
Krav
also
up
remember
now,
that
just so we have more
Krav is
people
also a
here.
paladin. He has lay on hands.
Yeah.
He can
Then we'll
probably
have
healing
2
spell.
heals.
Yeah, more people up is better. I'm doing that. Healing. So I'm gonna close in that 30 feet to the door,
Yep.
and I guess as soon as I can see Krav,
Yeah.
because it's 60 feet range.
Yeah, you're
So
fine.
I just have to be able to see him. 4. Fuck yeah. Plus spellcasting modifier, which I think is 1, 2. Come on, D&D Beyond.
What do you use?
It should be under your, like, when you're on your spells, it's like plus 4.
Plus 4.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
8.
Nice.
That's
So
nothing
Krav-
to sniff at.
Krav gets
Excellent.
popped back up by Trapper for 8 as the now in modern D&D common druid / healer support class does. And everything. Next is Skataki. Skataki, it's your turn.
Ooh, much shorter when half the party's on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a good clean shot at the one who has already been hit and healed himself once.
Okay, so the guy near Trapper.
17.
Yeah, 17 absolutely hits him.
Yay, mages.
Hey.
It's not my fault you have no AP. 8.
Oh.
8. All right, he is looking hurt. That definitely gets him real hard, and he is offended. He gives you a very offended look. Like, how dare you?
dare you, sir?
How dare
You're the
you?
one who just said it gets him real hard.
I mean, he is half erect. He is half erect right now.
Pain does weird things to people.
That is his go, actually. After that, he is very upset. He decides to... He is going to do what he does, which is he is going to heal himself again. This is what you get for having a coward on your party. And he also...
Gets hard and then touches himself.
Touches himself. So I'm going to roll a 1d8. Once I find it. And that heals him back up to almost full. Almost full. Yeah, almost full. And so he immediately repairs himself again. Which isn't really benefiting him in a significant way because, like, you're all still up.
Gosh.
But nonetheless, he is fine. And then he's going to take what's your next step, Skataki? Oh no. This was.
I would like to take a free action at some point when. Okay, I just want to scream. I'll keep shooting him. Somebody else run up and stab him a bunch.
So since he's back and the only person that's near him is Trapper, he is going to start running. And so he's like, I'm not being paid enough. Trapper, take an attack of opportunity on him. So just roll your normal melee attack. You don't have your staff unsheathed, but you can hit with it as a blunt weapon. You are muted, Josh. I cannot hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in the doorway because I was 60 feet away and I just made 60 feet. So I'm gonna hold my staff braced against the outside of the door across, trip him at the bottom, hope he don't notice.
Okay. Depending on how high your attack is over his AC, we'll see how effective it is at actually stopping his movement.
Roll to 15. Well, what do I add for? I haven't meleeed much.
Your melee, sir,
Strength
is
plus proficiency.
it's on his sheet. It's +3, so it's an 18.
Sweet.
So you don't trip him, but you do hurt him. You give him shin splints. Roll your damage.
can't find where my weapons are in here. Was that
It's
a 4
fine.
or an 8? It was a 4 or an 8.
No, it's a 1d6 at that distance.
Oh, that's what it was. 2
Two damage. So
plus. Do they have a
plus
plus?
1. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
3
And
damage.
so 3 damage to him. So he just healed himself back up to nearly full. You just took away some of that life. He's hurting, but he does manage to make it past you and get about 30 feet out from you down the hallway. Wolves are dead. Patience.
So we've got one caster still, or one caster fleeing?
You've got one caster fleeing, and then one caster that just lit up Barry and Krav and is only about 15 feet away from you.
All right. Well, Patience is gonna run up to him, like shocked and offended that she would knock poor Krav down and Barry, and she's gonna grab him and do shocking grasp.
Yay! Okay, shocking grasp. I believe that is a since it's a touch spell, I believe I have to save against it, right?
It says I have a +6 to hit, so I feel like that means I have to hit.
Oh yeah, you do. You have to hit.
Yeah, I have to make a melee spell attack.
Yep.
Oh, fuck me. I only rolled like a 9.
You will
not good.
almost definitely hit him.
Wait.
What
I think I probably should.
What is
I
your
was thinking
spell?
I have Tides of Chaos, which I could have used, which would have given me advantage.
That is, it's okay. Was that like a cantrip or like a spell?
No, Tides of Chaos is a special thing as a wild magic sorcerer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where I can gain advantage on attack roll.
Yeah. Feel free to roll a d20 again.
Okay, let's see if I can make this nicer. Okay, that's higher, so that's a 9 plus a 6, so that's 15.
15. Okay, 15 hits. So you do hit him.
Okay.
And then I think you roll like a 1d8 or something like that.
Yes, it's 1d8. So I rolled 6 damage. And on a hit, the target takes that damage and can't take reactions until the start of their next turn. That's reactions.
So he is definitely hurting. He takes the damage, and then he immediately looks back for his other caster cohort because he's like, oh, I've got this other guy. He's totally going to heal me up, and then sees that guy has booked it. And so while he's like shaking from the shocking grasp and upset, you've got him, in my mind, you've got him kind of by like his collar, like you're holding him by his like shirt and everything like that. He takes it, and he gets real hurt. He's still up, but
I need to roll on the Wild Magic Surge, yes.
Roll your Wild Magic Surge.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, so now that is a 3, 1, 2, or 3 on your next cast, if we do indeed get there. We are doing the damage of library thing. Some spells have been cast, some danger has happened to the books. All right, I rolled a 12. So that means about a dozen books will happen. Again, either 2 move actions, one from 2 different party members, or 1 action or bonus action from an individual.
Hey, I think I might have one because Healing Word is actually a bonus action, and I treated it like my main spell attack. Can we rate on that?
We cannot, but I will let you in the future. If you catch it faster, but if it's been a few turns after it, we'll just say that you moved it. But
if anyone notices me use Healing Word as a main action and not bonus in addition to something, call it out if you notice. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was going to say I can also not move. I'm basically just going to do the same attack. So
okay, so you're not moving.
I'm not gonna move.
Well,
I'm at
you
the bottom of
technically
the
are
order.
prone. You have to use your movement to get up.
I'm at the door. I'm not going to move.
No, Krav has to use his movement to get up, but Star cannot move.
yeah.
And I'm standing at the doorway too.
Okay, so you're in the doorway. So that's 2. I'll say Trapper and Star sacrifice that. And so Star happens to be hidden in a bookcase that had a lot of books that were going to catch on fire from that spell, but aren't anymore because Star just kind of deftly and quietly moves the books out of the way, and then like pats it out before it becomes a problem. And we're gonna say that Trapper sees that when he made the
I have mending as an at-will.
the healing. Yeah, when he made the healing, mending doesn't actually work on book print. It will work on the pages
I was thinking
themselves, but
maybe one of the shelves was falling over and about to
Exactly.
damage, and like fix the shelf before it broke.
yeah, that's fine. We'll play it that way.
Okay.
I was gonna play that the healing guy had tried to steal some books from the cart, and then drop them when you trip them. But we'll do the bookshelf thing. And so
I like both. That's cool.
yeah. And then so we are back to the top of the order. That is Krav. Krav, you are prone, so you'd have to use half your move action to get up. But fortunately, that caster that just lit you up is only 15 feet away.
I thought that was Star who was going.
Oh,
first.
sorry, it's Star. This has it in the flipped order, so it's Star first.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop out and hit that caster again. Or not again, but the one that just got shocked, basically. The
Yeah.
mage, whatever. Oh shit.
Get him.
So, yeah, I only got 13.
A 13 does not hit him. A 13 does not hit him. He definitely manages to hold off on that. So 13 doesn't hit him. Do you go back to hide again? Because do you stealth again to keep yourself hidden?
Yeah, I mean, he's come up a little bit. How far am I from him? I'm still like 20 feet or so. I'm like in the back of the room, right?
Yeah. You're between a few bookshelves. But yeah, you're.
Oh, I meant just like depth wise.
Oh, depth wise.
Like I'm
yeah,
still
you're probably
pretty far back
You're,
in the room.
you're probably
right?
20 feet still from him.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You
so yeah,
can't
I'm just
move,
gonna duck back
but
in.
you can duck. So roll your stealth again.
Yikes.
I got where is it? 12.
A 12 will not do it on this one. He actually finally clocks you, and everything. So you miss with your bolt, and the 12 and Star finally reveals themselves in this battle. And he starts doing the math and feeling like they were a little understaffed for this interaction. Okay, now it is Krov's turn.
All right. I'm going to stand up and cast Lay on Hands on myself.
You're going to stand up and cast Lay on Hands on you. Okay.
Yes.
Is Lay on Hands, is Touch Hands? I'm always going to call it Touch Hands because
It's just a pool of health.
No, I
Yeah,
know it's
just a pool of health.
Is it an action or is it a bonus action?
It's an
a
action.
regular action. Okay. So you pull your health and get yourself back up to whatever you get yourself. Do you go back up to full?
I can, right now at first level, I can restore up to 5 hit points.
Okay,
I'm
so-
just going to go 5 hit points.
Well, you're at 8,
So I'm at 9, right? I had 4 from the druid.
No, Trapper got you for 8.
Oh, okay.
So you only need to use 4 of your lay
Oh,
on
so
hands.
I only need to use 3.
Or 3.
Or 4, rather.
Yeah, 4 of your lay on hands. So you still have 1 hit point
One.
to use for lay on hands.
Which isn't bad. Like, if somebody goes down, I can at least
pops
get him.
back up. Yep.
That's how to not die.
Yep, that is useful. All the guards are down.
Star, are you cool with the pool?
still
I know how
Barry,
you
right?
get around pools.
I do not.
It is
do
Barry.
not like-
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look at this last guy. I was like, well, that was a lot of fun, but we don't have time for any of this. And I roll a 21.
Okay, Barry, you would have to. I assume you're attacking with your melee weapon.
Yeah.
So Barry does
And-
actually move a little bit, but he's well within your movement. He's like 15-ish feet out. So.
I thought he was that. Okay. Yeah. I'll run up to him and hit him.
Yep.
And I hit him for 11 damage.
And so he just drops.
Nice.
So he drops, Everyone is down except for the
Imagine
one
like a
running
splatter
away.
of blood across Patience's face, and she's like, "Let's go." Of him, like, eh.
Yeah, that is another book.
And I was like, good job not letting him get away.
Yeah, because it very much looks
No,
like
you're complicit.
Patience held him in place after shocking him. Because we described that you were like holding on to his collar.
Yeah.
All the
I
librarians
got
widen their
by
eyes.
his fucking neck.
Initiative order matters. He would have been able to get one more of those spells off. He had one more spell slot of Burning Hands, which he absolutely would have done.
Specifically, most of the library staff
Rick,
is
someone get
very
the other
familiar
guy.
with Patience,
Yeah.
right?
So Trapper, you are next in the order. The other person is about 30 feet from you, and they're booking or they're booking away and everything. So it's your go.
So I take my chakram off, swirl it around my finger as I'm kind of sizing it up, and wing it right out.
All right, roll to hit.
By law, don't you have to scream "Hey!" when you throw a shotgun like Xena?
Thank you for giving me an excuse to do my Xena impression.
There you go. You're welcome.
You never need an excuse. You always have permission.
What did you-
Every fucking time I throw this thing, nat one.
Nat 1. Oh.
Oh,
And it just wings and it bounces. And it's not like it gets lost or anything, but normally it would return to you. It doesn't. It doesn't. It gets stuck in a wall. It gets stuck in a wall. Trapper did not succeed there.
I said,
Shit.
And, Trapper did not succeed there. Do you move to pursue him? Because you can keep pace with him.
yeah. I would
Gotta
probably.
keep up with
Can I
him.
keep pace without running?
Oh no, you can't move. You gave up your move action. So now, yeah,
Oh,
no.
God.
So you're good.
Bonus action?
You do have your bonus action, and I know that Barry hasn't been healed yet, as far as I know. So he's at
I do
1.
have
I'm
my
still
bonus
at 1
action.
HP.
I do not have spell slots.
Oh, yeah. 'cause
I was
it's not a-
wondering, like,
It's not a
Yeah, probably.
cantrip yet, right?
Now it's a bonus action, but it still
is
takes a slot.
Okay.
Yeah. Fairy Fire Healing Word.
All right. So that moves
it's
to
okay, I forgive you.
it moves to Skataki. Well, it should have been. This is not a martial character. His AC was low, but nat 1s mean misses no matter what. Skataki, your go.
do I still have line of sight on him?
If you move 30 feet, no one's in the doorway, and I defined with Trapper that it was like a straight hallway to the door, so yes. Because I've already defined it, yes.
Okay. So I don't have to move. I can just shoot.
Yeah, your range is like something like 120, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can just stand there.
Okay. Shooting. Or maybe I let him go.
Oh no!
10?
10 does not hit him.
Damn.
Damn it.
Wait, can I retroactively use inspiration?
I mean, that is what it's
Sorry,
for. I
Bob.
can't, but all right. Wolves or hounds are dead. I used the wolf build for the hounds. They didn't get to do a lot. If they'd gotten to, it's Barry's fault, honestly, because his disadvantage blinked out their advantage by being next to their allies, and so it made them roll normal. So they're down.
Nice.
So we are back to Patience. Patience. It's
Okay,
you.
so how far away is this dude?
So from you, since you walked 15 feet forward, he's 15. He's 45 feet from you.
Because I was touching him, and then he ran 45 away.
Yeah.
No, I killed the guy you were touching.
This is the guy that's running.
Right.
It's just the guy that's running.
Right.
That guy's still there.
All right. So
That
if I
guy.
can
That
get-
guy has done. He's healed
He's just
himself
changed
twice
a bit.
and then ran.
So Trapper didn't move, right?
Right. I'm
no,
still
Trapper
No
didn't.
one. There's no one in between me and this dude.
Not really.
Okay. So if
Yeah,
I
I'm
run
my
up
staff
30 feet, then I'm up on him, which means I can cast Thunderwave.
Thunderwave. Is it a?
Thunderwave
It's
is a
not.
15 foot.
Oh yeah. He's exactly the right distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is I think it's a Constitution saving throw for him. Each creature in 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
As you might imagine, as a caster, his con bonus is wildly huge. That's a nat 7. Roll your damage.
I will. Let me get my other.
All you have to do is not roll 2 once.
Don't tempt me. Where the fuck is my other
Actually,
little
he's got a
diamond?
little bit more hit points than that.
6.
6?
2. So that's.
Oh, that's
8. But just so you know, also any unsecured objects within that area are also pushed 10 feet away. So, like, any shit in the hallway also gets eaten.
So, Patience steps forward, having not really done a lot of damage in the last conflict, having been uncomfortable with it, after shocking and holding someone for Barry to cleave in the last round. Steps forward, gets just the right distance away, making sure all of Patience's allies are safe, and thunder waves and wrecks the shit out of this hallway. Paintings drop but down, everything knocks down the guy. He goes down and just dies right there on the spot. It's not actually double his max hit points, but I like the flavor of it more. And but if you want to torture, bring him back, I guess you can. Krav can give him 1 hit point with lay on hands.
Yeah.
and everything. He dies face down, pees himself a little because, you know, he's released his bowels and bladder.
Because he has to.
I'm rolling perception.
Do it.
It's gonna happen.
I got an 11.
11. You can smell it. You're a coyote.
Plus 4. 15.
50. Oh, definitely. You can smell it. So Patience just rocks it and everything. And you didn't lose anything valuable in that hallway. But Patience, you did cast a spell, so you gotta roll
for yourself. The chakrams are hard as fuck to make, dude.
Yeah. The chakram just kicks 10 down. You rolled a 12?
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine. Wild magic does not go off at this time.
Not completely ruin my family's.
It's just a bunch of paintings and hanging things and like side tables. Nothing of value, of significant value, was destroyed. But it was all destroyed. Like it's all of it's garbage now.
You saved all the books.
So,
yeah, no books were injured during this combat. So combat is over. There are no villains. Barry is hurt. I think Barry's the only one, maybe, that is actually holding any damage right now.
Yep. And what I'm going to do is my crusty, burnt, bloodied self is going to run over to Patience and be like, give her a big hug and be like, that was awesome!
I think she's just kind of, like, in shock, like, laughing, like...
and then he like,
oh my god, what did I do?
And he coughs up a little blood. I'm sorry.
So Skataki is going to jump. Oh, sorry, Barry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That's all I had to say.
Skataki literally jumps in between Barry and Patience and puts his arms on Patience's shoulder and leads her away quietly. It's okay, lass. Don't worry. You didn't do anything that wasn't going to happen anyway. It's going to be all right.
I killed 2 men and maybe some hounds. Oh Lord!
I run
warrior.
past. I'm gonna like give her a clap on the back.
She walks away, walks off a little bit through the damage. Patience.
I'm gonna sing her the warrior song in my native tongue.
I need you to hold on.
It's just terrifying, by the way. It's just like rah, it's roars and growls.
Okay.
The spittle flying.
Look, the hounds were pregnant.
I'm gonna chest bump you.
I'm definitely gonna check on David.
I'm definitely running for the rubble to try and dig out my chakram, but as I run past, I go, holy shit, Patience, that was dope.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're in the rubble. Patience is being walked not off, I assume not completely away, just off away.
Just like
from
away. So she's
Skitaki, the only one that knows how truly horrifying this must be for patients.
How garbage is my chakram?
Your chakram's fine. It's fine. It didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna punish you for that awesome spell attack from an.
I was just excited to be able to use mend for a reason.
Yeah. No. You could use mend on some of the stuff here. There's like picture frames and things like that you can mend.
Yeah, I think Patience is looking at some of the pictures and going like, hee.
Okay, yeah. Any of the pictures that only have like a single tear or single break, I'm able to mend with mending, and that's at will. So I'm just like,
I'm just gonna have you roll a d20. This is a straight luck check. We're just gonna see how happenstance effective it's gonna be.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Fucking.
God damn it.
Weirdly enough. So nobody in this game probably watches the show Miraculous, so I can't reference that. But weirdly enough, it almost looks.
I am the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah. Trapper just quietly walks around and just repairs everything. Almost everything just is fine. He's just writing it back on walls and everything. So, like, the wallpaper is
Listen,
fine.
y'all, I gotta make up for some shit. I'll tell you about a tree later. It's a long story.
What?
and everything.
You kill a tree?
Star, do you
Kind of
go
the opposite.
to check on David?
Oh no.
Oh.
David.
Yeah.
So Star.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking on David.
So Star goes, David is pinned down under the debris of his desk, and everything, but you can easily pull it off, now that there's not a rush. And David just looks over at Star, and he's like, well, you're my goddamn hero.
I do what I can.
Oh, we are definitely getting at least a beverage tomorrow night. And then David studiously goes back to trying to collect books up. Get them back on the thing because he takes his job seriously. Still shirtless, still super jacked.
Barry is just gonna fall down onto the floor and lay down.
All right, the battle is over. Trapper has mended things. Barry is sitting in exhaustion. David is back to work. What do you all do?
Should we do something for? For Barry? Can anyone make him not? Just kind of gestures.
Yeah,
a bloody burnt mess.
Like my slots are spent until a short rest, right? Is this a short rest?
I say we take a short rest.
Yeah, I can help out. Let's take a nap real quick, though.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to actually sleep. You can just
library?
sit.
Let's get some tea.
Yeah.
And just sit, relax out on the quad.
So I have a medicine score of +1. I think we should pee on him. I hear it solves all problems.
I
immediately start unbuttoning my pants.
Hold on. Now, I will be the first to say that does solve a lot of problems. I'm afraid this ain't one of them, but I reckon this might help.
So
am I able to do like a healing check?
Or is that only if you all sit here for a short rest, we'll say that for this period of time, you're in the library and everything, so you can use your healing word on him. Also, to level 1 characters, they have hit die on a short rest, don't they?
Yeah, we have hit die.
Yeah.
We don't need to use your healing spells.
Yeah. So
we should probably be running off to get Frederickson.
Yeah, and so
Your spells.
Well, I guess wait a minute. Do we get the XP for this encounter as soon as the encounter's over? Because that could reset our spell slots.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is that it is extremely unlikely, unless you literally just go in, immediately start chopping, that you will get into another combat this session. being that as a GM, I don't like rolling or working multiple combats of significance into sessions.
That's a lot.
You will, however, level up from this combat. So in our next session, you will be level 2. But you can.
I gotta have some kind of.
We can just
like
take a short rest
potion,
and I can
something.
heal.
Okay.
Yeah, short rest is fine. You can heal with short rest just fine.
Could I get y'all some? Well, we don't really have very much to offer, but some water.
So David just interrupts and he's like, "I got it," and he walks off while you're sitting there, short rest, kind of recovering. Takes a break from putting the books back on the carts to be returned by taller people, and then he walks in pulling, and he's doing it like, you know when an old person pulls like a bus with their teeth kind of thing. He's not using his teeth, but he's got like these leather straps on the bottom of this silver roller cart, and there's tea and scones and everything on it, and he's just like, I'd like to thank you all for saving the library. I have been a student here at the university for 30 years, and I do not want to think of a world where I could not have access to this wealth of knowledge in Water's Wealth. It's not just about water.
It's true.
also
David's
about
been here
knowledge.
since I was a baby.
He has been there since you were a baby, and
Yeah.
he looked exactly the same then. Super jacked, gray beard, maximum, great, like salt and pepper, maximum yoked dude. And so now you have
Damn,
tea.
David, did you make this bevy cart?
Yeah. He looks a little bashful, and he's like, let's see how you like it before I lay claim to who made it.
All right. I'm a little worried, but I'm into it.
Oh no.
Is he just being modest?
No, I rolled a natural 1. So the tea tastes terrible, and the scones are basically just, they looked at an oven before he pulled them out of it. So they are way undercooked. There is, however, Krav, a small bowl of raw meat on the tea cart for Krav.
Oh, I'm digging in. Like,
And that's
before
fine.
it even stops, I've got bored.
That's fine. The raw meat is there for Krav. It has a little like note in front of it that just says Krav with a smiley face on it and everything. And he just goes back to his books. But
I just
it is
put
terrible
a few
tea.
pinches of cotton candy into my tea.
It is, that
I'm gonna go to town on that bowl of meat, and then I'm gonna hold it out to Patience. Like, do you want?
No, I don't eat raw meat.
Hold on.
And she looks offended.
David looks and he's like, "Whoa, racist!" He's like, "Whoa."
It is a warrior's meal. And then I'm gonna go back to like digging in.
I'm gonna have him roll
I'll
an insight. He rolls an insight. It's high enough. He's like, "Oh, my mistake. It's just so common. It so commonly happens to poor patients." Goes back.
I look at
Yeah.
Patience. I say, I don't think these dudes ever heard of microflora.
And so,
Fair enough.
you all are there. You're short rested. You have terrible scones and terrible tea made by a very handsome silver fox by the name of David the Gnome, and everything. So what do you want to do? Do you want to discuss more? Do you want to plan? Do you want to just go at the mansion? You can go at the mansion. I'm not stopping you from progressing.
So,
toward that.
I recovered 10 hit points. So
That
I'm
puts
at
you at
11.
11.
And I look over to Patience and is like, I know you're not used to this, but you did really good.
Thanks. At
And-
least everyone's okay. And
I mean,
the library
the
looks pretty good beside the doors.
If you hadn't zapped that guy, I probably would be literal toast right now.
Ooh.
So, and then I take out the canisters of oil that I got from the bandits that we apprehended down the south, and I say, I think it's time we pay the Goodhammer Manor a visit.
Oh.
Well,
That's...
What?
I'm implying that we
what
should
does
burn
that
it down.
mean?
Yeah, no, I picked that up.
Oh, it means something different in my land. Let's burn it down. That's fine.
Can't even take the Greek out of the characters the Greek plays. Can't do it.
I just want to say I'm very into this plan.
Yeah, I set down my scone, pick up my crossbow, and get up. I'm ready.
What? That
only
delicious scone?
I say,
David
this
made
man
for you?
almost could have burned
I
down your
want that
library
on
with those spells he was casting.
Oh, I don't have any problem with destroying this man's livelihood because he did try to kill us and destroy a library. On the other hand, I'm still so confused on what he's planning. And I feel like if we burn it, we might not know. So I at least want to get in there and see if there's anything. I mean, what's with this spell? What's it supposed to do? Is he casting the spell? Is someone else? Are they using this the battle's got my tongue all twisted. These vital minerals, like, for some sort of nefarious purpose?
Now,
I
wait
do
a
think
minute.
we should pay him a visit, for sure.
I want to make sure that no
What?
innocent lives are lost.
What if we set fire to something else, just nearby, surround the place, and just see if it draws anyone out? Especially if they might be
Section of
overconfident.
My thought process is he's trying to buy property. He can't buy property if he's dead. He can't buy property if he's ashes.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts a little wrench in his plan.
I'm all for seeing good boner be dead, but do you say he's after some minerals?
Wait, where have you been?
Yeah.
So remember those blue acorns?
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to the store to try and buy some components for just some like recreational druid shit.
Oh, recreational.
Yeah, and the dude tried to fire an arrow at my face. The dude, it was acting like all them folks who've been like extra racist lately against like
Patience and Skataki.
monster people.
Patience and Skataki, I want you to roll insight checks based off Trapper's story. This isn't about lying or anything. Just because you're local.
Long story short, I thought maybe the acorns would give me like some blue wood skin or something, but it turned into a tree in my mouth, and
You put those things in your mouth?
I spit it out, but it kind of made a tree grow.
Did you know what it was gonna do?
This boy's store.
No, you didn't.
Hell
Oh
no,
Lord!
Put it in my mouth. I thought it was gonna grow a tree
I rolled
out my
an
head.
8.
You don't. Skataki, you
Nope.
know nothing further about it. What about you, Mr. Scotto?
I rolled a 5.
All right.
Wow.
I think that's a great way to hatch an acorn.
All
Carry it around in your mouth.
all you know,
It's a cunning plan.
all you know is that the owner of the shop is a guy by the name you think his name is Lisley Clanthian. He's an elf. But that's it. You don't know any more than that. That's the only bit of knowledge that you would have about it. Neither of you frequented his shop that much. And so, okay. So Trapper relays the tree story.
I would also say I also learned a little bit more about these acorns. It turns out it was made by this powerful dude who's desalinating water out on the coast right now, who used to be here trying to make the desert all green again, but like doing some real dark shit.
You don't need to roll this. You know, powerful dude. We're gonna say that Trapper remembers his name or drops his name. You know the.
I definitely would have been. I was trying to see if Patience remembered something for sure.
Patience automatically knows this. Skataki might know him by name and legend, but Patience, you know a bit more about him. This gentleman's name is Skeeter. Skeeter is a druid by practice, but had a number of things that they did that were not very druidic as well. And they spent some significant time doing some dark stuff. So, Patience, you know what is in, basically Robert's description whole and a bunch of historical moments where Skeeter did some real upsetting shit, but never was legally caught for it. So he'd always manage his way out of actually getting arrested, and he never actually, like, physically harmed anyone from Water's Wealth on purpose. It wasn't like he was kidnapping kids or anything. So
No.
yeah, he got some dryads and sacrificed them. That's the legend that even Skataki and pretty much everyone in Water's Wealth knows. And then he bounced out of town when it was getting a little too hot, like when it was looking like his luck was gonna run out. On the law being like okay with all this really unsettling stuff going on.
That guy is an abomination.
Yeah.
What he does is pure evil.
Yeah, you should have tasted this fucking acorn.
I'm surprised that you put that in your mouth without not knowing what it was. Is that how you druids do things?
I mean, you don't know what something is, give it a little taste. Good way to find out.
Or have the sorcerer look at it.
Well, he was sort of looking down the side of a bow and arrow at the moment. So
Next time, just leave.
I needed my shit.
I promise you, there are other places to get your shit. We'll figure it. We'll get you your stuff. Whatever you need, we'll get it.
All right,
I like how
I didn't know you had
Patience
the
is
hookup.
becoming the group's mom.
Legally required, apparently.
There's always one.
I can't help myself. I want to buck the trend, but you guys need me.
Or you can just embrace the chaos.
So everybody hears
embrace the chaos.
Everybody hears what Trapper relays about the tree and the and then the subsequent woods hangout. The woods are just kind of, they're not even outside of Water's Wealth, but they are like the most open area of groved wooded trees, and there are plenty of places you can kind of tuck away in them and nobody can see you. They're the largest body of trees in western Odai. And so they're a pretty popular space for teenagers to go neck in the woods, if you will. But nonetheless,
Let's go, Barry.
Crob and Barry go to the woods. I'm gonna need you to role. We're gonna do another side story where I just GM you role playing out an extremely passionate makeout sesh.
Excellent.
It's the battle lust.
Roll dexterity saving throw.
Saving.
So
Between Barry and Crob, that would be what it always. It's all Constitution checks and saving throws.
yeah.
They're just working each other over real hard. It's very Klingon sex.
Every roll, Barry has to just roll to save against poisoning.
You have a high constitution score.
That's what it's for.
okay, so it just quickly, out of character, it sounds like folks want to go to Goodhammer's. Yes? Is this tracking?
Yeah, we should play Hammergood a visit.
I don't know what else we would do.
Alright.
Well, I mean, are we waiting for...
But I do think we should question him. I don't think we should just straight up murder him.
Oh.
I guess
Sorry, boy.
that's the you're no fun. I thought you were my pal. We should go kill him. It'll be fun. We'll burn his house down.
What do
Piss
we
on
hope
the
to
ashes.
gain by questioning?
Well,
Hammergood
figuring out why the hell he's doing what he's doing. For all we know, this could go deeper. Maybe it's connected to the Kenku. Maybe the Magister knows what's going on. We don't know if we just murder him.
Well, I'm not sure
agree.
that we're going to know if we just ask him either.
We want to try.
Y'all,
to get
I've seen how you ask people, first of all.
We can be very persuasive.
We
Yeah.
murder him and then
Hey, to be fair,
that's the thing.
That's a good point.
We can ask him after murder.
I don't
Yeah,
actually.
you ever seen a show called Fringe Patience?
Definitely no torturing.
That's a good point. We can't always just kill someone and then heal for one and question.
It's in every D&D campaign I've ever played in. Admittedly, players can just say, can just say, I'm doing this to non-lethal damage to bring him down to just above subconsciousness, but to where he is essentially useless, and that's also fine. I do not require people to thread that needle perfectly, because it prevents the need for wasting healing on what's inevitably heavy aggressive questioning.
Mm-hmm.
We could also just sneak in.
I like that one.
Ooh.
and then we'll be able to, if we find what we need, confront him with it, and then depending on how bad it is, mess him up.
Patience.
Because I feel also like if he gets murdered, I wonder what'll happen to the stuff he owns.
He doesn't
Right,
have to
we
stay
should go in, ransack the house, steal the valuables, and then burn it down. I like your thinking.
Do you know what is?
I still
does
think
he
we should
got
have a
like
distraction.
guards around his place?
Oh,
Patience
these
and
were his
Skataki. Yeah, Patience and Skataki would know that he regularly has people patrolling his grounds, but they've never had reason or cause to like really scope that aggressively because they're not like being aggressive.
Yeah.
He's in a man, and he's not the only one in Water's Wealth that has that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone with enough money.
Yeah.
Do we want to do it now or like wait for what time of day is it?
It
You wanna wait till it's dark?
it is very late night at this point. It is like, I want to say it's probably like 11 o'clock, maybe actually because of the short rest, it's probably midnight.
Okay.
So here's the thing. If we don't go now, he's going to, with those guys we all just killed, don't report back. Plus, what are we going to do with all, that reminds me. I'm going to look through the bodies for any valuables or anything on them that might indicate, any information.
Roll either investigation or perception. Oh, yeah, investigation or
Everybody?
perception, whatever's higher. For anyone that wants to check the bodies.
Yeah.
I got a dirty 20.
I got a 19.
18.
14.
Does Krav check the bodies or does he not care?
He does, but he fails.
He fails. All right. So everybody rolled above a 15 beside Krav, right?
And Patience, because she's not searching the
Oh,
bodies.
Patience
Very
isn't
uncomfortable
searching.
with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll look at anything
Sorry,
they bring to
I
me.
rolled a
But
14.
A what?
Trapper's 14.
Okay, Trapper, Patience, and Krav find nothing, either by looking and not finding it, or some such. You find like general stuff, a little bit of copper, a little bit of silver, nothing of significant wealth. I'll add them to your character sheets at the end of this session. But
I need those hand crossbows worth holding.
nope, not better than yours. So you can recover up your bolts, of course, Star, and make sure that you're all good on that. Let's see.
Steve, can we get a clarification just because there's been a bit of chaos? We didn't end up with a prisoner at all. Everybody's either dead or run off, correct?
No, they're all dead. They are all dead.
No one escaped.
Yep.
Oh, right. Patience flattened
I
the last
thunderclapped
guy.
Yeah, the last guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that-
Patience
Everybody
was
is
the
dead.
boss and just destroyed that last dude.
Mm-hmm.
After we search and find anything that is directly linking us to Goodhammer, Skataki's going to get very serious. Like we can't just declare war on the richest man in town. Water's Wealth will literally never be the same.
We've already declared it. He just sent armed thugs into the university to kill us.
We think he's declared it. We don't actually know. And everyone who could tell us is lying at our feet dead. So we've got to do something that doesn't involve ruining the lass's entire familyhood and her ability to stay in this town for the sake of our bloodlust being up.
I mean, I think it's the dude who just tried to set the library on fire doing that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if we don't
And
act
we have
now,
evidence
that gives them time to gather more forces to be against us.
Wait, you have evidence, Star?
There was a lot of
multiple locations. We know for a fact that he was hiring people to attack one family, and then we know for a fact that he had already hired people to burn down a structure at another location, and then at the exact same time all of this is being coordinated, there's also an attack on the library. Like,
I mean, who else would be attacking us right now?
Well, we're not saying it's not him. It's not. I don't think that's what Skataki's saying. I think he's saying that this is the wealthiest man in town, which means that he has significantly more resources than us. which
Sure.
means we might not be able to just kick down the door and, get what we want. I mean, he could have us hauled off by the police.
I think that I agree with you partially. I think that it's good to cover your ass in this kind of situation. But I think that, and this was a hard thing for me to grasp growing up the way I did, but part of being in a society is ultimately being able to be judged by that society's rules. And
Sure.
we are saying that because people we killed or tortured or ran off have told us something, that therefore we are correct, and therefore the frats can live happily in this town for the rest of their lives, and therefore none of us go to jail. And while I'm not wholly
They
opposed,
literally just attacked the Pratt's university. They are already under threat of violence. It's not going to happen. It's happening.
and the magistrate agrees with that, does he?
He's probably bought and paid for. Under which,
Okay.
Yeah,
under which case,
I'm be straight
there's
with you.
nothing we can do about it.
I'm gonna stand up as Krav. I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna say, at a certain point, we have to ask ourselves, what kind of beings we want to be. Do we want to? We don't want to be what Goodhammer is. We want to rise above that.
By be what Goodhammer is, do you mean the dude with more resources than anyone else, or?
I mean somebody who is dishonorable, somebody who is evil, somebody who has no regard for another life.
I don't think anyone was suggesting that, was they?
But
No.
if we go in and we burn his house down, and we go in and we murder him
And all
without
his
evidence,
guards.
then we are no better than.
I'm more interested in going in and finding some deeds. Maybe making
Having
it
some
out there.
evidence,
Yeah, some evidence.
or just maybe suddenly the deed isn't his anymore, and then maybe that also would be. I might be really
You
suspicious,
literally need
actually.
someone to sit down and spell it out for you. We've been encountered every step of the way. His men thwarting us, attacking us. His men trying to burn down a house. What more do you want? This man is evil, and your town would be better off without him.
It feels relevant to also point out that when those magistrates the marshals tried to arrest me for the magistrate, dude straight up offered to let me bribe him to arrest someone else instead. So I don't think they're going to be much help in the greater good goals here.
Usually they aren't.
So what we have here is we have a discussion where Patience and Skitaki are pushing for the idea that going in full force or extremely aggressively would be potentially negative in outcomes, in consequences, even though they're or even though it's pretty clear to y'all that Goodhammer's just doing stuff. And then we have Barry, who is aware but confident that there won't be a help in the legal way, and that you have enough proof to sort of lock it down on there. You have a paladin who Krav is often forgotten as a paladin because he's not spitting verse at everyone all the time. Playing a
Just
paladin, being like, can we rise above this? We have Star, who's kind of on the idea of well, maybe we just infiltrate, maybe we just find some stuff in the house, maybe then go to him, and then we have Trapper, who is Trapper kind of riding the line on this.
Trapper's definitely on the same wave like this Star, more like let's get there, play it by ear. But Trapper is not going to suggest that all 6 of us just wander up like we did with the Kenku.
I am gonna have Barry. I'm gonna have Barry, Patience, and Krav roll insight.
Covert, I guess, would be the way to describe my plan.
Yeah.
My insight is so good.
I rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no.
So
Give me a second.
A lot of that going around tonight.
It's glad
So
you
my
got
total
it. It wasn't
insight is a
wild punch.
22.
at least it's not a
You got nat
magic.
20.
I rolled a 19, and I'm trying to bring my character sheet up here.
I got it.
What's my
I got
bow?
it. Your insight is +1, so you got a dirty 20.
Nat 1 insight check.
Okay.
You know your fellow
So-
partiers are betrayers.
Barry Krav gives a speech, which I didn't interrupt at the time, but brought a tear to David's eye, because he was just like, oh, that is one of the most noble beast men I have ever seen.
That's racist.
He's a beast man. That's what he is.
We prefer the
beard.
word lizard man. Thank you very much.
I was raised in a different time. Nonetheless, so Barry brings a tear to his eye, or David gets a tear to his eye. So Krav and Barry, you have fought side by side. You gel a lot in a lot of these things. Barry, with your 22 insight, you grasp the fact that nobody wants Goodhammer to get away with this, and probably most of the party would like to see him punished to death for all of these things, but are worried about the consequences. And Krav himself is appealing to the better angels, but you also know from Krav's like demeanor and everything, if Goodhammer is doing some seriously bad shit, it's almost upon you to deal with that in the moment. So there's a bit of an insight that says, even if you go in there covert, even if you go in there with the intentions to question or even just gather information and then come back a day later. You also remember that Patience was talking about the double full moon happening in about 5 days, and there being a relation to that. So you know that whatever he's trying to execute as an end game isn't in the next couple days. So you do have the insight to kind of gather that, even though Barry is a character, I think you're playing him very to his character, which is he's not part of a city. He doesn't play craft games, and he's very good as a person. And so, in his mind, he's like, we have the evidence we need, so either the Magister's, like your statement of, either the Magister's bought and paid for, so it's not gonna fucking matter anyway, or we gotta kill him, I think is a good roleplay for Barry. But he starts picking this up, and with Krav being like better angels, Barry can pick on the insight. It's like, yeah, but if things need to get dealt with, they can get dealt with there as well. And then Patience with your nat 1, even though it was a nat 1, you do know that if you don't do something about it, he's gonna find out about this, because they're probably from him. And so he's gonna find out about this. What you guys didn't let me get to on your looting is you do find a note on the healers thing that you wrecked. You find a note with like an order that is from Goodhammer stationery on the healer, being like, gather a team together, go to that library, and deal with this problem for me, nephew. Mm-hmm. And so,
oh shit, they was using a private server.
And so you find that note on him.
It's a firewall.
And it's not signed Frederickson Goodhammer, but it's on his stationery.
That's how I pay
from the desk of Frederickson Goodhammer, Hammergood. It's weird. Every time you look at it, you read it as Goodhammer, and then you read it again, and it's Hammergood, and it's real hard to understand why it keeps changing.
I'm wondering if this is going to be a lore thing now.
Maybe someone has notes written down about this.
The Mandela effect, that's all it is.
His name was always Ulfgar Longsword. What are you talking about?
Well, something came to mind I didn't bring up when I was telling you what happened in the woods, but I may have a marshal who owes me a favor. So we could potentially go and ask him, and I feel pretty confident
Anthony.
we get solid answers on whether or not the rest of the force is paid off by whatever hammer dick.
I like that it's either Hammer Dick or Dick
These are
Hammer.
not the hammer.
I'll just say this to finish this up. We got 5 days till this moon. Clearly, he's not wasting his time waiting for things to happen. He is gonna get these properties either through buying them or by force if he has to before that happens. And if we wait, he will consolidate more people to his side with his money, and we will have less of an opportunity than if we strike now.
All right.
And I'll just say this: my compromise is what Star says: gathering information and then a striking if necessary.
I still think it'd be a good idea to try to do a big distraction, see if we can get the attention of anyone who is.
We'll distract the
basically
guards and
alert
you go
already.
into the building.
I'm sure there's got to be one of the buildings off the side we could light up that wouldn't have any people in it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or we could
fire.
just take
A fire
these
is going to draw attention.
Or we could send Goodhammer a message. Take these bodies, place them in the street in front of his house, and set them up. Burn
Oh
them.
God, there are bodies in the library. I even forgot.
There's quite a few bodies.
Oh God.
David is
There's
quietly.
blood everywhere.
David has quietly been putting the bodies kind of closer together. He's currently working on the body in the hall. He's
Putting them
dragging
on
it.
book carts.
He's dragging it. He's getting his workout today. He's definitely getting his workout today.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna get 2 cheat days this week for as much energy as he's expressing. And everything. So he
You
is.
can take one, Croft.
He is just not asked for help or anything like that. So now the bodies are all kind of relatively close together, and then he lit out of the room to go get someone to go get them away. And so while you all are discussing this strategy, a person that Patience and Skataki has never seen before, or a group of people, it's a bunch of gnomes that all are pretty much as jacked as David, just sort of roll in and everything, and they just start putting the bodies on like roller pallets and everything, and they're like, and David just looks and he's like, unless you have a need for these, I'll handle these. I'm at least gonna put them on the pallets. It'll make them easier to move and everything. And so they're just fucking team working, like 3, 2, 1, lift, and just putting bodies on these little roller pallets.
I just love that there's a group of library gnomes who just, without batting an eyelash, start disposing of corpses.
Patience has never seen any other gnomes in the library beside David, but looking at it, a lot of the gnomes look very similar. So maybe you have, and you just always thought they were David? Because when I say similar, I mean like fraternal twins. Like they're all
Oompa
bearded.
Loompas?
They're all bearded. They're all jacked. They're all salt and pepper beards and everything like that. And they all wear little red conical hats. And so maybe there's more than just David the gnome in the library, but Patience has never had to worry about it, and they all seem to respond. They've always responded to David.
Well, at least my parents don't have to find out about the murder. If they ask, if you see 2 humans that maybe look like they run the place, can you pretend like we just roughed them up and they left? You just roughed them up and they left, okay? Everyone has to agree.
You're gonna
Hell yeah,
rough
we're not
up.
trying to bring any heat on your patients.
Fine.
Come on.
So no, he's like that'd be absolutely fine, and everything.
Barry is not too keen on shedding the honor of a battle won, but he will.
Barry must be kept away from my parents at all costs.
But he will. but I will as a favor to a friend.
Just don't mention it. Just don't
David looks and
I
he's
won't
like,
lie, but that doesn't mean I have to say anything.
David looks right at Barry and he points and he finger guns him and he's like, hey, if it's anywhere that her parents aren't gonna be, it was y'all. And then that's it. So he doesn't lose the full honor, just the patience's, like, just the university stuff.
I fist bumped David.
Yeah, David reaches way up and then jumps and fist bumps you. And everything. And so
What the fuck
I've been
just
staring at the
happened?
gnomes as their fist bump connects. I turn into a giant 8'1" shirtless gnome.
Yeah, you can for sure 100% do that. Goddamn, I'm
cannot do
imagining it in my head and it's beautiful.
you cannot do that. I'm sorry.
How
You
much
cannot
of the
do that.
cone?
Oh.
I can't. I have disguised self.
What?
I have disguised self as a racial trait.
Okay, you can do that. Sorry, Brandon. You were asking a question.
Oh, all I asked was how much of the height is made up of cone.
How much of the height is made up of cone? You're not sure. You haven't seen him. Even when he got knocked down,
Wait,
they've
yeah,
all
here we
kept
go.
that cone
I'm
hat.
a
He could be
normal-
bald under that hat. He could have a cul-de-sac. He clearly has hair down at the bottom of his head. He could have a Patrick Stewart going on, and that could be what he's rocking. He could have he could have like Liberty spikes tucked up under there. You know, you don't know.
I'll let
Maybe
you
I'm
know.
a normal sized gnome with like a
So-
6 foot tall
okay, so-
cone head.
Let's solidify a plan. We set up a distraction. Is anyone else good and sneaky like Star over here?
I mean, I can turn myself into different creatures like gnomes.
Whoa, that's cool.
Hold on.
So,
Barry was just looking the other way when I did it.
Yeah, David looks over at you, having turned yourself into a gnome, and he's like, and y'all say I'm racist, and then he just pushes the card out. Gnome face, motherfucking coyote beast, man.
I just say, damn. I lean my head down and pop back into the coyote again.
Damn.
The social
My bad, David.
mores
Gnomes
of...
to kill him for us.
I just want to try and get the plan together and execute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So
We've set
Trapper
up
can
pretty-
wild shape now. So Trapper can go into like a
An animal.
more like reconnaissance
talk about it.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think the plan is we go there, we see what we can see, and then we make some decisions from there as to the best way to get in, see what we can find, and confront him.
Agreed.
we're going to want to
There
scout
it
from a
is.
distance so we don't attract attention like we did with the Kenku.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm not
yeah.
This
We all
time,
need
cover,
go
then
all the way
look.
up to the house.
For those of you that are looking at the map, or those of you that are watching, pulling up Water's Wealth map. So, Goodhammer / Hammergood's manor is up in the northmost spring. It's got two little farmy boys right by it. It's right by the station for the train
Two
station.
little farmy boys.
Two little farmy boys, and by farmy
little
boys,
I
farmy
like
boys.
this town.
We're going with hand boys and mouth boys and farm boys.
I use the word boys a lot. I blame the McElroys, but I use them in dark ways.
boys.
But nonetheless, it's got two little farm sections attached to it. He didn't make those farms. They're not currently in use at all. They've just got whatever naturally grows on them. It isn't a completely remote from another building, another manor house, but it is nicely fenced up and everything with some stone, with some brick, brick kind of low fencing, like 4 to 5 foot fencing, so it's not like a bunker or anything. He hasn't really made
Where on
many
the map is
changes.
this?
It's at the north of the map. North of the map, there's the northern water spring. There is a red, kind of like dull red roofed, like double-story building, and it's like a Savannah, Georgia type manse. It's got that Victorian kind of look to it. And everything.
So
Not
it'd be
the
like
pagoda
a
one.
good place to launch from, essentially. Is that
What?
what I'm hearing? It'd be like a good place to launch from,
To launch into
Or
the
a place we
waterfront?
can set on fire.
to launch our mission from,
Yeah, so that's...
set on fire.
Yeah, that's where he is. That's where his home is.
Oh, that's where he is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's where his home is. And he's got he's got those two kind of unused, still representative and still fenced in like farms, but they're not currently yielding other than what they naturally would do on the weather patterns.
Yeah. That's
And,
what I was thinking for
and
where
so,
we could kick off from.
Yeah, and so there is cover around his place that you could kind of tuck into, even though there's no like significant trees or like ridges or anything to hide behind. But Patience and Skataki would know that much from walking by it. It's like, oh yeah, he lives up at the old yeah, I'm just gonna use it, the old McElroy farm, where those three brothers, before they moved to the capital to start their radio show, the three brothers worked the farm with their father, who had retired from a radio show in the capital. It's real weird that they came out here to do that, but maybe he just wanted to raise his family in a decent neighborhood. Either way, after their mother died, they almost separate. I know a lot about the McElroys, so I'm not going to keep kyping their human history
don't try to
for
put
this.
their real human lives into the...
They've talked about it live on various things.
Yeah, but not like this.
But yeah, so he bought up the property from him, sight unseen. Like, they were already in the capital. So it was just a paperwork deal. They don't know him from Paul or Peter.
Hey, Game Mommy.
Yeah.
Speaking of paperwork deals, could next time we have a map that we can interact with, like ping and draw lines and stuff? Get on to that.
No. Because I'm not letting you all draw dicks on my maps. Because I know that's where your head was at, Greg. I know that's where it was at. But what I will do is next time I will do a map via Photoshop, so that I can like highlight things for you in Photoshop, and I'll share that so you can all have it in the Skype call.
All right.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. And theoretically, I could present it as a screen as I discuss it with you to the Twitch feed. So, definitely an approach and everything. Do you all think it would behoove you to move tonight on that?
Yes.
I don't think that was a bad idea for Barry.
Yeah, as long as are we leveled up after when we head over, we're like leveled up?
You will be leveled up, but you don't have to level your characters right now in the last like 15 minutes of this session. You will be leveled up, but if there's something your level can do that you already know, feel free to just like let me know.
God. Sorry.
I just can't wait to light buildings on fire. I want to get to that part.
I grabbed those oil canisters for a reason.
Yeah.
Burning stuff is useful.
Excuse me.
So if you head over tonight, it's midnight. Water's Wealth is things. David is handling the body removal with his crew of gnomes that look a lot like him, and make sure that Star has his room. He stays in one of the one-person single dormitories in the university, and so Star has that number, and they solidify plans for tomorrow, and everything. As you creep through the night, I would like everyone to roll stealth checks with advantage.
Advantage.
Dirty 20.
19.
Also 19.
9.
22.
9. Okay, with
17.
with only Krav getting below a 10, none of you are. It's so typical that the paladin gets. Is like, I don't know what stealth is.
What, me? I'm just walking.
He's not a chameleon lizard.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
So with only one of you getting below a 10, you encounter nobody confronting you, and nobody notices. There's just nobody on the path there. So you approach Goodhammer Manor. Goodhammer Manor, as I stated, is a large piece of property. A large piece of property. As you approach it from a distance. Yeah?
What was that?
That was weird. It was like super weird
Coach.
digital feedback. Yeah, you approach it at a distance. You can see the smaller farm, fenced-off area just immediately beside it to the south, and the larger farm, disused farm, fenced-off area on its east side behind the building. Both of them have a bunch of overgrown wheat and corn and stalk shrubs, and a bunch of overgrown grass and tons of weeds, dandelions everywhere. And then of course the mansion itself, as I stated, has like a bit of a large yard that is sectioned off by a roughly 5-foot brick wall. You're all far enough back that nobody would able to see you as this distance and everything. And so how do you want to approach the manor? Or approach the distraction? I guess the distraction is the first thing you all discussed.
Well,
So Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
First I was going to say, like, can we quickly look inside the barn and can we see what's the dirt do? I would like to know what the dirt do.
Oh, at there?
Mm-hmm.
The dirt inside, there are no barns here. It's just full, it's
like land.
Yeah,
basically.
it's just land with with like a number of sheds. Are you pulling the dirt from outside the boundaries of the farm or inside the boundaries of the farms?
In the boundaries of the farms.
Okay, we'll say that you can reach the edge of that without having to roll any kind of stealth check. Inside the boundaries of the farms, you pick it up, you put it to the light, it's glitter dirt, just like the others.
How soon did he know this was like this? Huh. So, let's scope it out.
Yeah. So Barry had thoughts.
Yes.
I know that much.
Well, I was gonna say, so there's the manor itself, and then there's nearby buildings which are uninhabited. You're saying?
Yeah. There's a number of sheds, and when I say sheds, I'm talking about like 12 by 12, 16 by 16 sheds. So like full garage kind of size sheds, but they're not like barns. This was never a property that had a significant amount of animals. And so some of them did have animals in them years and years ago, but nothing is like a stable or like a pig feed pen or anything like that.
So my suggestion then is, if we're going with the distraction route and not just straight up burning the guy's house down with him in it, is we'll set one of these on fire and draw out his guards.
And I'll sneak
and then
in with the coyote in little mode.
Yeah, and then Trapper and Star go inside, run reconnaissance. Do you have anything that makes a lot of noise, the two of you?
Well, thaumaturgy can be
Trapper.
quite loud.
I'm talking about Star and Trapper, because if they need us, we need to be able to hear them.
I could go with them.
Are you going to be able
She
to
can be quite loud.
be sneaky enough?
I've got a plus. I'm sneaky enough. Yeah, I'm a little sneakier than the average kid.
Okay.
Like a goat kid, is what I meant.
The three of you will infiltrate, and if you need backup, and I don't mean if you run into anyone inside. I mean if you need backup, you let us know. You make noise, and we will come bursting in.
All right, so every GM's fantasy, splitting the party. It's my favorite thing. It's honestly, in a group of 6, there's no reason not to split up the party a bunch. That's why you have a group of 6 instead of a group of like 3 or 4, where it would be just deadly.
Whoops, you died.
So we are going to. We have a plan. We have an approach. Trapper, Star, Patience. You're going to be on the infiltration team. Skitaki, Krog, and Barry are going to be on the distraction outside kind of fallback, emergency response team, if you will. So you'll be distracting things and everything like that.
Really quick to interrupt you. It sounds like Klopp and Pop is having some sound issues.
Josh. Yeah.
Oh. Are you muted, Josh?
Yeah, he was typing something up that came up on the screen.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
Oh,
He's getting no audio. He's trying to rejoin on his phone.
yeah.
Okay.
He said he gives me all his magic items, and
That tracks.
None of them.
He's got a couple. He's got a couple. He didn't eat all of his acorns.
Oh Lord.
There are a lot of situations where shoving an acorn into someone's mouth and making them explode from a tree is a real fast way around armor class. And him going, it's like, well, I just instantly kill you with the physics of the game. You're welcome.
And the building that you're standing in, to be fair.
Yeah, probably. As long as it's not a big old warehouse.
It's not great. It's not great for a stealth mission.
Heck, that could be a signal. If you
That's a
need
good
backup,
point.
make a
If
tree.
things really go bad. If you hear patients yelling, you know you need to come into the
You need
building. If you
backup.
see a giant tree pop out of it, you know that just everything's gone to hell and we're going full tilt.
Oops.
There you go.
You hear that, chap?
There.
Can you hear us, Trapper?
I can't. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I've got
What
audio.
we're saying is that there's 3 stages, or 2 stages. One is if you need backup, then have patients use thaumaturgy to call out for help. If shit really hits the fan and it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge, drop a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I will make thunder rumble. That way, maybe we don't have to reveal our exact position.
It is a
at
clear
first.
night. Out. It's all stars and 2 moons. And so it's a completely clear night. So if thunder happens, that's probably patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 2 more of them acorns who I don't know who we want to signal trees or be able to.
So with this,
You can give me one. I can get awfully close to somebody.
Yeah, I
Alright.
give it a star.
You can
So I
just
give Star one.
run up and sleight of hand somebody.
it's like just lick it and put it down because it just has to get wet. It just has to get wet. Nonetheless,
Oh, I guess I was thinking put it into somebody's mouth.
if you put it in someone's mouth, it'll get wet in their mouth. That's what happened with Trapper.
Yeah.
that's not something that I'd be worried about.
So, we're gonna end this session here because the next session is going to be more significant, and I also want y'all to have your full levels. It will start with the Goodhammer house infiltration. Congratulations, you just whomped my. Like, I literally was like, I don't know if this combat is gonna be too hard for them. And yeah, you know, a spell managed to knock you down, and it's kind of hard at level 1 to balance things out because if they hit you real hard, you're down, kind of thing.
Level 1 swings hard all the time.
Yeah, swing super hard. So I expected as much, but I expected it to swing a little bit more my way. Let that be a lesson. Initiative matters. 100% of the time, every time, initiative matters. Also, I'd like to thank good strategy moves like golf clap applauds to Barry for being like, target me, but do it with disadvantage. And then Trapper to be like, because when you did Fairy Fire, I'm like, they're not obscured or anything, and I always forget Fairy Fire has that advantage. Has that advantage tactic on the attacks on them as well. So I always forget that there's like just an honest reason to do Fairy Fire. Star keeping it stealthy in the stacks. Skitaki being a character build that doesn't have to move. Just being like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot him from a distance. Maximum Ranger. I enjoy the budding Crovberry bromance / hot makeout sessions that we're gonna have to roleplay.
It's coming.
It's gonna be weird because it's gonna be that, and then I'm gonna have to do a one-off with Star and David's date. It's gonna be this is gonna get real sexy, is what I'm saying.
Good hot MC.
It's gonna be real hot. I hope you like different
Fingers
D&D
crossed
species.
for Star, David, and Dave. Because I think that,
Oh,
right?
Oh man,
I don't know if Star has the constitution or
That's
dex for that.
That's fanfic waiting to happen.
It's,
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Go over to
Also,
dyingofexposure.com.
I also want to
for
give
that.
props to Patience for having some character growth too, because she went from panicking in her first round of combat that she had when we first had it, and this time she just wrecked shit, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Straight up weird people.
Yeah,
Don't-
this is kind
don't-
of perfect. Having the opportunity of defending your own, your family's shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah, I
like
mean,
it's
Yeah,
almost
into
like the
yeah.
moment that you guys didn't just immediately go to Goodhammer's. GM thought, where would Patience has been thinking? How do I get Patience to want to defend something enough to hurt people? It's almost like that could have been the case, because I realized I'm like, Patience shouldn't be violent ever. There's no reason for Patience to be violent, and in this group. She would absolutely be like, well, they can kill pretty much anything, so I can just kind of support. But I'm like, you're a sorcerer. You're not a cleric or a wizard or even a druid where you're there's so many good support spells. It's just I want to see that sorcerer hurt people. I want to see that, and I want that wild magic surge to happen all the time. It hasn't happened yet.
oh god.
It happened. I'm gonna build.
I'll say,
Go on.
I had a moment there when you were casting spells and Barry's sitting next to you at 1 HP. I'm just like, please don't blow up. Please don't blow up on me. I don't want to die.
I suppose I
Not
should
like
officially.
this.
I suppose I should officially end the stream. I just wanted to give my congratulations out. Krav, great inspiring speech as well. Definitely playing to the Templar, always fun. Super weird to have an actual decent human being as a Templar. So strange. I'm so
Breaking the stereotype that all paladins are dicks.
Yeah, as a paladin being a pally being we should rise above, not in like a mean way where we're better than them in a judgmental way, but in a way where we can do it the right way, and then if we have to kill them, we'll kill them. But congratulations to you all. Thank you for joining Through the Mill, the Dying of Exposure actual play series. Thank you to my posse of players. And we will be back next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. You can always follow us here on our Twitch channel at dying_of_exposure, or over on Instagram at the same handle. Twitter and Facebook are just Dying of Exposure. Same thing with the YouTube. These episodes go up to YouTube Fridays, so people can catch up, go back, listen to the old episodes, get themselves caught up if you just joined us now. Have a wonderful night, and a good rest of your week.